Presley at ActOutGames.com here, and today we're making a DIY teleprompter.
Yeah, so Presley's been getting some jobs that sort of require more script reading, and so we were going to kind of put a prompter together to see how that works. Mommy used to work in television, and we've worked with prompters before, so they're pretty expensive to buy one.
Yeah.
More expensive than they ought to be, and so I thought I'd try and build one, and so this is kind of what the steps we're doing.
Yeah.
To build a teleprompter. It actually works pretty well. We tested it out last night, and it looks really good.
Yeah.
So this should get you, if you want to get one for, pretty cheap. I think probably if you bought everything that you needed for this, it would be about $70 if you did it the way that I built it, but you can kind of cut some corners and do some things too, do your own stuff. And I use a lot of stuff that I had around the house. We had a bunch of extras of different things, and so that made
this was going to be the
even better
background for the set.
Yeah.
This
So
is the background for the set, actually.
the main thing that you'll need is I recommend you get a piece of beam splitter glass, is what this is called, or like a two-way mirror. You'll hear it. A beam, yeah, so it splits a beam of light.
It sounds kind of like you're saying bean.
Beam, not bean splitter. Beam splitter glass. You can call any glass place, and you can. They should have it, and you should be able to get some. And I think this is a 12-inch by 12-inch piece. I paid $20 for it. If you bought a piece of this exact same glass online that was called teleprompter glass, it would cost you like $150, $200. So yeah, just go to a glass place and get them to cut you a piece, or they may have a piece that's the right size. So 12 by 12 is what I'm using. You can probably get away with smaller, but I think that's one of the key components. You can use just a piece of glass, like out of a picture frame or something like that. That would be cheaper, not by a ton if you go to a glass place and get it, but it wouldn't work as well. Like this works really, really well.
Yeah.
So then, it needs to sit at a 45-degree angle because this uses Pepper's Ghost.
Yes.
Right, so we'll put a link to Pepper's Ghost videos on the end of this, so you can kind of see what Pepper's Ghost is. But this, yeah, we do have to. So this will use Pepper's Ghost effect to do the teleprompting, right? And so when Presley's reading the prompter, it's going to sit kind of at a 45-degree angle, and the camera is going to shoot through the glass, but she's going to see the reflection of the iPad that's going to be down here on the floor, or on the bottom of the case, right?
Hopefully not on the floor.
Not on the floor. So so it needs to sit at a 45-degree angle. So you have to build some sort of a case that'll hold it at a 45-degree angle. And then another important thing with Pepper's Ghost is that it be very dark in the back. And so we have this black fleece that's actually the background of these shelving units. So it really eats light really well. It stays dark. And again, we just had some left over for this. We didn't have to buy that, but I recommend this black fleece. It works really great. So you need a box that you can cover with this black fleece and have the mirror inside at a 45-degree angle. You'll put the iPad at the bottom and it'll reflect and come off, right?
Yeah.
And then you'll cut a little hole in the back that the camera shoots through, and it'll all be good. So PVC is a really cheap way to go, an easy way to go to build that box.
Yep.
So the only thing you have to figure out is how the dimensions that you want it to be. I'll try and put the dimensions of what I built down in the bottom if you're using a 12 by 12 piece of glass so you can see it. But just so you know, like I knew that I was making this box and I needed the glass to sit at a 45-degree angle, right? So I had a box and I wanted to draw this 45-degree angle. And what that does is it makes two right triangles, right? So if I have this box and I'm drawing this horizontal line, right? And I knew that this line needed to be 12 inches because that's where my glass is going to sit. And so I could just use a practical application of the Pythagorean theorem and say, I know this is 12 inches. And I know that the sum of the squares of these two sides equals the square of this side because of Pythagorean's theorem, and I could use that to figure out how big I need the other sides to be.
Oh, that's cool.
Cool? So that's actual practical math application. So I did that, and to make the box, and then for the width of the box, I made it just a little bit less than the piece of glass, so it's about 11 inches or something like that wide, so that when I put the piece of glass in, it sort of wedges in.
Yeah.
But we'll see how that works in a second. So I got a half-inch PVC, and some little corner connectors, right? And so all we're going to do is make two boxes out of the short pieces, and then connect them together with the long pieces. Okay, you want to help me do that?
Yes.
We built two boxes.
Yeah.
And these are the ones that give me, when the glass is sitting inside, roughly the angle that I want. I left it a little bit bigger, so I've got a little bit of play to control it. But for the most part, that's my Pythagorean triangle right there. Great. So now, what you're going to do is put these in here. this is going to be the container for the prompter. And so you can see it's a little bit wider than it is tall, right? And so the glass will slide right in there. And then, you know, I've got a little bit of play. Actually, it goes this way. Got a little bit of play of how I want that angle to be, that I can adjust and set the way I want it.
Yeah,
and then all
on.
we'll do is wrap this here so that it's black inside. And then when you put the iPad down in here,
we'll put a clip down here for now.
There'll be a hole here that the camera will shoot through and be able to see through the glass. And then on this side, we'll have the iPad sort of bouncing off and shooting through. We've got these big binder clips that we also just had available from some other stuff that we did, and so we're going to use those to kind of hold this together. And I want to make it kind of where I can break it apart and take it places and put it up in case we decide to do that sometime. So now, what I'm going to do, so those are the steps we're about to follow. You do want this to be relatively stable. Obviously, you don't want the glass falling out and breaking. And so you can glue this with a PVC glue, but again, I want to be able to break it apart when I want to, so I think I'm just going to take some tape, a little piece of duct tape, and sort of wrap these, connect these corners so that it won't fall apart. Duct tape solves everything. Again, sort of staying low tech with it. So we're going to get some duct tape, we're going to connect all of these together so that it won't fall apart, and then we'll come back and put the glass inside.
Yeah.
Cool? Alright.
Okay, so here it is, taped up all at the corners, so it will stay together.
Yeah, so I think, you know, if I really wanted to make it super portable, I would probably maybe drill a hole and put screws in all of these, because taking all this tape off and putting it back on would probably be a pain. But I don't know how, it'd probably be once or twice I have to carry it around. So I think this is going to work. I think actually, if being honest, you probably don't have to put anything on it. It probably hold together by itself pretty well, because it's not going to get jostled too much, but just to be safe, it's good to secure it. Okay, so the next thing you want to do is put the mirror in. Okay, so I just cleaned it really good. I got cotton gloves on, so I'm not getting fingerprints all over it, because that's sort of an important piece, is to have it super clean. We'll set it up so it's facing the camera there. So this is how you want it to be. So the iPad will be here, it'll bounce off and go to the camera. So Presley will be where you're at, and she'll be able to see the prompter there, right? So what I want to do here, I'm just going to put a little more tape around the corners to hold the glass in place, like that. So nothing, again, nothing super sophisticated, and we'll just do that on all the corners of the glass so the glass doesn't fall out. We won't do the front and back, obviously, because that's where we want the camera to be, but we'll do those, and then we'll be right back.
So now the corners are taped so the glass stays in.
Yeah, so just little pieces just to keep the glass nice and stable. Again, it's not going to be moving around a lot, so you don't have to worry about it too much, but I want to be extra careful.
Yeah.
Okay, so now all you have to do at this point is wrap it in your black fleece so that it stays nice and dark. It is very soft, and it just really eats light really well. It's my favorite, you know, light absorbing. Like, I love how it looks back there. So we're going to wrap it like this, and then we'll put a hole back here to shoot the camera through. Once we get it wrapped up, and we'll just use these clips, like I said, to kind of hold it in place on the corners. And once it's put in place, we'll throw the iPad in there so you can see exactly how well it works. Yeah? All right, right back.
So here we go, an easy DIY teleprompter.
Yeah, so the iPad's in there and it's rolling. Hopefully you can see that. It looks different through the camera, obviously. Unfortunately, we're having a problem with one of our lights right now. We got to get fixed, but so I can't sort of set everything up and show you what it looks like when it's rolling. But back here, we'll just make a nice little hole and shoot through this. Later, we'll show you what it looks like when you shoot through it. We'll do a follow-up video for that. You're also, I mean, you're shooting through a two-way mirror, so you're gonna need to adjust some settings on your camera probably. It's gonna be a little darker. You probably have to re-white balance and stuff like that, but it's easy to adjust for. Shouldn't be a problem. But I think it works really great.
Yeah.
Like, I'm really happy with it. So yeah, we'll take a couple of shots of it and show you how it looks and how it works when the camera's lined up and everything correctly. But that's all there is to it. You make one of these. All you need to do now is find a way to put it in front of your camera. I'm using a music stand that I got because we could always use a music stand. That was actually the most expensive thing that I bought for this whole project. And you could find another way to do it. I'm sure you could just stack it sit it on a chair and put it on a stack of books or something. You could totally make it work. Even cheaper than what we're doing. But a little music stand is kind of perfect because it has a nice big platform at the top that you can set it on top of. So we're going to try that. I think it's going to work, yeah?
Yeah.
Awesome. So we're going to shoot some videos with this. We'll show you what it looks like, but that's all you got to do to make a really high quality home teleprompter. Cool?
Yeah.
Awesome. All right.
So yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye!
Bye, guys.